The November air bites cold as Malik Harmon pulls his jacket tighter, earbuds nestled deep in his ears. Kendrick's voice pulses through the night as he walks the familiar path from the library to his dorm. It's 8:47 p.m. His backpack weighs heavy with textbooks, organic chemistry, African American studies, calculus. He's tired, the kind of exhaustion that comes from chasing excellence in a place that wasn't built for people who look like him. But Malik doesn't complain. He never does. His mama raised him to be twice as good, twice as careful, twice as prepared. And he is. Dean's List every semester. Student government. Volunteer tutor. At 19, Malik Harmon is everything a university should celebrate. The campus paths are nearly empty. Most students are in their dorms or at parties. Malik prefers the quiet. He's thinking about his chemistry exam, about calling his little sister before she goes to bed, about whether he remembered to submit his scholarship application. He doesn't know that 47 minutes ago, 3 masked figures robbed a student at the north parking lot. He doesn't know that campus police received a vague, dangerous description. Young black males, possibly students, heading toward the east side of campus. He doesn't know that in less than 2 minutes, his entire future will collapse into those 15 minutes. University Police Officer Davidson's radio crackles with urgency. All units be advised. Armed robbery, North Lot. Suspects described as 3 black males, early 20s, dark clothing, possibly armed. Considered dangerous. Repeat, possibly armed. Davidson's pulse quickens. He's been on the force for 3 years, spent most of it writing parking tickets and breaking up parties. This is different. This is real. He spots movement ahead. A lone figure walking with hands in pockets, hood partially up against the cold. Black male, dark clothing, walking away from the direction of the robbery. Davidson's training kicks in, or what he thinks is training. What's actually kicking in is something uglier, something the department would never put in a manual. Assumption, fear, adrenaline, and the deeply embedded lie that black bodies are inherently threatening. He calls for backup. 2 more units converge on the area within 60 seconds. Malik still has his music playing. He's rounding the corner toward his dorm, mentally reviewing chemical compounds, completely unaware that 3 police vehicles are closing in on him with their lights off. Freeze! Police! Hands where I can see them! The shout cuts through the night, but Malik doesn't hear it. His music is too loud. He keeps walking, one hand reaching up to adjust his earbud. To Officer Davidson, that hand looks like it's reaching for something. A weapon. A gun. Every horrible scenario from training videos floods his mind. I said freeze. Show me your hands. Malik still doesn't hear. He's 10 steps from his dormitory entrance. 10 steps from safety. Davidson's hand moves to his holster. Officer Chun and Officer Rodriguez fan out on either side, their own weapons drawn. 3 guns now trained on a 19-year-old boy who just wants to go to sleep. Then Malik sees the flashing lights. His head turns. Confusion floods his face. He reaches up to remove his earbuds, his other hand instinctively moving toward his pocket, toward his student ID, toward proof that he belongs here, that he's not who they're looking for. To Malik, it's the most natural thing in the world. He's been told his whole life. Cooperate, show your ID, prove you're not a threat. To Officer Davidson, that reaching hand is a death sentence waiting to happen. Gun. He's reaching. Gun. Gun. The sound shatters the night. Not 1 shot, but 6, 7, 8. Malik's body jerks backward as bullets tear through his chest, his shoulder, his stomach. His backpack explodes in a shower of paper and broken plastic. His phone skitters across the pavement, earbuds ripped violently from his ears. He doesn't understand what's happening. There's no pain at first, just shock, just the sense of falling. His hand is still clutching something. Not a gun. His student ID. The laminated card with his smiling face, his name, his student number. Proof that he was supposed to be here. Proof that he mattered. The ID slips from his fingers as he hits the ground. Malik Harmon, 19 years old, 3.8 GPA, son, brother, friend, future doctor, lies bleeding on the concrete 15 feet from his dorm room door. Officer Davidson is screaming into his radio. Shots fired. Shots fired. Suspect down. We need medical now. Suspect. That's what Malik is now. Not a student. Not a person. A suspect. Officer Chun approaches cautiously, gun still drawn, as if the dying teenager might somehow still pose a threat. He kicks something with his foot, the student ID. He picks it up, stares at it. His face goes pale. Davidson, this is a student. Malik Harmon. He's a student here. Davidson's hands are shaking. He was reaching for something. I saw. His ID, Davidson. He was reaching for his fucking ID. Before we go any further, comment where in the world you're watching from and make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's story is one you don't want to miss. Now back to the story. Paramedics arrive 4 minutes later. For minutes of Malik bleeding out on cold concrete while 3 officers stand around him. Reality slowly crushing down on their shoulders. The ambulance doors slam shut. Lights flash. The siren wails into the night. Students begin to emerge from dorms, drawn by the commotion. Phones come out. Videos start recording. Someone live streams. Within minutes, the footage spreads, not of the shooting itself, but of the aftermath. Police tape. Blood on the pavement. A backpack split open. Textbooks scattered like broken dreams. And there, in one crucial frame captured by a freshman's shaking phone, Malik's student ID lying in a pool of blood, his face smiling up from the laminated card. The university's crisis management team is activated. President Whitmore is woken from sleep. Legal is called. Public relations scrambles. The word goes out, control the narrative. At 9:23 p.m., real police work finally happens. Officers following actual leads, checking actual security footage, doing actual investigation, everything they should have done before shooting a teenager, track the robbery suspects to an off-campus house. They breach the door. 3 young men are inside, masks and stolen property scattered around them, counting money and laughing. Not one of them is black. Not one of them resembles Malik Harmon in any way. And the ringleader, the one who planned it, who provided the weapons, who picked the target, is Connor Whitmore, the vice-chancellor's son. A 21-year-old with a record the university has carefully scrubbed. Previous thefts, an assault charge that disappeared, a DUI swept under expensive legal rugs. Campus security had flagged him weeks ago. His behavior had been reported. Multiple students had complained. But Connor Whitmore was protected by a name, by money, by the kind of privilege that makes accountability vanish. The arresting officers stare at each other. Someone mutters, "Oh fuck," because they know. They all know what this means. An innocent black student is dying in the hospital because police couldn't be bothered to do their jobs correctly. Because a vague description and their own biases were enough to justify shooting first. Because Connor Whitmore's father has spent years ensuring his son faces no consequences. And tonight, that protection killed someone else's child. By midnight, the machinery of institutional protection grinds into motion. Vice-Chancellor Richard Whitmore is in President Wallace's office. The university's legal team is assembled. Campus Police Chief Morrison sits with his head in his hands. "We need to control this," Whitmore says, his voice tight. "The optics are complicated. Complicated. That's what they call it when privilege murders innocence." President Wallace drafts a statement. "Tonight, a tragic misunderstanding occurred on our campus. Our thoughts and prayers are with all those affected. The university is cooperating fully with an ongoing investigation. We ask for patience as the facts are gathered. Tragic misunderstanding. As if Malik Harmon tripped and fell. As if systematic racism and police violence are just unfortunate accidents. But they underestimate the students. Screenshots are already circulating. Old incident reports about Connor Whitmore, mysteriously removed from campus security databases, have been saved and shared. A student who works in administration leaks internal emails showing that Vice-Chancellor Whitmore personally intervened in his son's previous cases. The Black Student Union doesn't wait for permission. By 1 a.m., they've organized. By dawn, they're marching. By noon, the national media has the story. and the university's carefully constructed narrative begins to crumble. Malik Harmon dies at 4:17 a.m., never regaining consciousness. His last thoughts were probably confusion, wondering why, wondering what he'd done wrong. The answer, nothing. Malik did everything right. He excelled academically. He followed every rule. He tried to show his ID. He tried to prove he belonged. But in America, being black while walking can be a death sentence. Being excellent doesn't make you safe. Doing everything right doesn't stop the bullets. His mother, Dr. Patricia Harmon, arrives too late to say goodbye. She collapses in the hospital hallway, her screams echoing through sterile corridors. Malik's father, Marcus, stands frozen, his baby boy's blood still fresh on the pavement outside his dorm. Malik's 12-year-old sister, Amara, the one he was going to call before bed, will never get that call. The university releases its statement. Social media erupts in fury. Protests spread to 30 campuses in 48 hours. Parents pull their black children from schools, terrified. Students demand answers, demand accountability, demand justice. The Harmon family hires the best lawyers they can find. The university hires better ones. Evidence goes missing. Security footage is corrupted. Witnesses receive threatening messages. Officers involved are placed on paid administrative leave, a vacation for murder. Vice Chancellor Whitmore quietly resigns, his son's involvement downplayed as tangential. Connor gets a plea deal, minimal charges. He'll serve 2 years, be out in 14 months. Officer Davidson is eventually fired, not prosecuted. He gives interviews claiming he feared for his life, that Malik's movements were threatening, that he followed his training. The lawsuit takes 3 years. The university settles for $15 million rather than let all their dirty secrets become public record. The Harmon family wins, but they've lost everything that matters. 15 minutes. That's all it took to end Malik Harmon's life. 15 minutes from walking home to dying on the ground. 15 minutes that exposed everything. The racial profiling, the police overreaction, the institutional corruption, the protection of wealthy white criminals while black excellence is murdered in the streets. Malik's dorm room remains untouched for months, a shrine his roommate can't bear to disturb. His chemistry textbook is still open to the page he was studying. His scholarship application, completed but never submitted, sits on his desk. On campus, students paint his name on the sidewalk where he fell. The university power washes it away. They paint it again, and again, and again, because some truths refuse to be erased. Malik Harmon was 19 years old. He was brilliant. He was kind. He was loved. He had dreams. And he was killed for being black in a space that claimed to welcome him. His mother speaks at a congressional hearing on police violence. His father starts a foundation. His sister grows up with a hole in her heart where her big brother should be. Connor Whitmore serves his time and disappears into obscurity, protected by privilege even after it killed someone. The officers move to different departments, different cities, where they'll wear badges and carry guns and make split-second decisions about other black lives. And somewhere, right now, another Malik Harmon is walking home from a late study session, earbuds in, dreaming of his future. We can only pray those 15 minutes never come for him. But in America, for black students, black sons, black brothers, those 15 minutes are always waiting. Always just around the corner. Always 15 minutes away. If the story moved you in any way, please take a second to like this video, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one.